When you start a new drawing, its template has settings for units and limits that are used by default. You can use the settings used in a template or make your own settings for units and limits. In this example, or in this video, we will open a blank drawing, then set the units and limits in it, and then we will save that as a template. To start a new drawing, we can click here, and I'm going to click on this acad.dwt. This is a default template. That will give us new drawing. We haven't made any changes to the file yet. So what I would like to do is change the units of this file and then save that as a template. Template is something that we can reuse for new drawings. They are really useful when you have a lot of projects using the same settings or units or drawing limits. Let's say in your country, people use architectural units. You can set that in your drawing, save that as a template, and reuse that particular drawing or particular template for all new projects. So let's go and change the units for this drawing. Click on application icon. Go to drawing utilities, click on units. By default, AutoCAD set the unit decimal precision 0.00. I'm going to change those to architectural. Click OK. Now we have changed the units. Now let's save this as a template. Go to application icon, hover over on save as, and click on drawing template. Now I'm going to say architecture, click save, and I click save. Let's go and close this. Now I'm going to start a new project. Let's go and click on this arrow button, and now you should see a template that you just created. Architectural.dwt. Click on that. You get a new drawing, and I'm going to check the units for this drawing. And as you can see, the length type is architectural. We have only one change in our template, but when you start working with bigger projects, you will have a lot of changes, and you can configure the template the way you like it. So templates are really good, and I would highly recommend to start creating a template for your settings so you don't have to do that again and again. Click OK, and you have your template. I can save this project with .dwg file, which is AutoCAD drawing file. In AutoCAD, we make our drawings on a scale of 1:1, which means we are drawing to the actual scale of the project. For example, a square plate of 10 mm by 10 mm will be exactly the size in AutoCAD as well. But the drawing area can make the 10 mm by 10 mm square very big or small, depending on the zoom state of the screen. If your drawing is zoomed in, the square may appear bigger, and if it's zoomed out, the drawing may appear tiny. So depending on the size of a drawing that you want to make in your AutoCAD file, you can set the limits. To set the limits, type limits, press enter, and now you can see in a command line, you have an option to specify lower left corner. Right now it's 0 feet, 0 inches. And I'm going to leave that as it is. Press spacebar, and now the command line has changed. It says specify upper right corner. So in this case, I'm just going to do 500 feet, 500 feet. Enter, and your limits are set. If I type limits again, enter, and I'm going to press spacebar. And this time you will notice in a command line, it says upper right corner, and the current one are 500 feet, 500 feet. So now I can go and change the template. So let's go save as and say drawing templates. I'm going to select the one I just created, and I'm going to override that. Save it, and let's just click on yes. And I'm going to click on OK. Now, if I go and close this, create a new project using that template. I'm going to check the limits by typing limits, enter, press enter one more time, and you will see here we have 500 by 500 for upper right corner. Understand application menu and its available options. I'm going to click on that, and first option is new. You can create a new drawing by clicking here, or you can create sheet sets. Obviously we haven't talked about it, so don't worry for now. We can open new drawing by clicking on drawing, click drawing from AutoCAD web and mobile. So AutoCAD has a mobile version and a web version as well. So if you created a file in those versions, you can open from there. Again, sheet set can be opened, DGN. There's a different file type called DGN, and you can import that in AutoCAD. You have a sample files. To save a file, simply click on save, and there is a shortcut key for that is Control S. You can save as drawing to AutoCAD web and mobile, drawing template that we just learned. You got drawing standards, so it basically says create a drawing standards WDS file which can be used to check the standard of a drawing. And you have other formats like DWG, DWT, DWS, or DS. We have import options. We can import PDF, DGN, and other file formats. We have export option where you can export your DWG file to DWF, DWFX, 3D DWF. Now, if you are wondering what are these formats and why they are here, well, Autodesk has different softwares like AutoCAD, and we have Autodesk Revit, 3D Max, 3D Maya, and there's other applications built by Autodesk. And some of those applications use these formats. We have a publish option which can publish your DWG to 3D print service, archive it, or e-transmit it, email, or share view. You have a printing option which will have a separate section for how to print in AutoCAD because it can be quite complicated. You got drawing utilities like we use units. You have a drawing properties, so DWG compare. So if you read about what DWG compare is going to do, for example, here it says compares to drawing using colors and reviewing clouds to show differences, use arrows to review each set of changes. So these commands are pretty self-explanatory as well. For example, here control coordinates and angle display format and precision. You have an audit command which evaluates integrity of a drawing and correct some errors. There's a purge command that is very important. So it says remove unused named items such as block definition and layers from a drawing. So quickly we'll show you what is purge command because it requires some practical example. I'm going to draw a line by clicking on line command, click and click again, press escape. Now this line was drawn on layer 0. I'm going to click on layer properties and create a new layer, and I'm going to just leave that layer 1. Let's go and close this. And now you notice you have two layers, layer 1 and 0. If I go to and drawing utilities and go to purge command and then just click purge all, and I'll say purge all, close. And if I go and check the layers, there is no layer 1 left because no object was created on that particular layer. Don't worry, we will have a separate section when we talk about layers, and we'll come back to these options in details with practical examples later in the course. Congratulations on completing this section. In this section, we've learned the user interface of AutoCAD and how it works on different operating systems. We also learned how to navigate in AutoCAD using our mouse and on-screen navigation tools. Then we learned about command line and selection set. Finally, we learned how to add units and limits to our drawing and also to save these settings as a template. This section was essential to build your foundation for software and for further learning. And before you jump to the next section of the course, I would highly recommend to practice what you have learned in this section. And I'm really excited to have you on board in next section. Have fun, and I'll see you in the next section of the course.